the far back, then I'll do it that way. I'm comfortable not using the mic, otherwise my voice will be heard across the yard. I'm Antonio Medrano. Years ago, you heard me speak and you endorsed me for the school board in the last run. I come back to ask for the same support. We came close the last time, very, very close. This time we'll do it again and we will win. We talk about safety. I also want safe schools, but sites need to be safe also. Not just keep the drugs out and the gangs out and the bullies at some of our middle schools. We need to have a program at these schools, especially the middle schools, that tackle some of those problems. I talked to parents in Richmond, Iron Triangle, San Pablo, where I come from, and I asked them, these parents, when I speak at Leadership High School or some of the charter schools, why did you decide to take your daughter or son out of a public school, it's your public money, and send them into a private school? The immediate response is seguridad, the safety. My kids get hassled, and the public schools don't do anything. And I asked them, did you ever talk to the teacher? Did you ever then talk to the principal? Did you arrange for a meeting with the teacher or with the principal? And I guide them along that very, very careful path. And if they need some help in talking to the teacher or the principal, I will volunteer, or somebody will volunteer. Somebody else will volunteer, in my place. Those are important. If we had all the students who now assist charter schools or private schools like the Catholic schools, if they came back to our school system, we wouldn't have a declining enrollment, as Dr. Harder has pointed out. We'd have rich schools. But to do that, we need good teachers, excellent teachers in our schools. If they need training, provide the training for them. If we have principals who are suffering because they're new or inexperienced, provide the training for them too. We've lost principals because not enough training or background was given to them. You don't tell somebody you're losing your job, I should have told you instead, these are the things you have to work on. I'll come back in 6 months and see if you've improved the situation. Then if you haven't, then we'll sit down and have a cup of coffee and discuss the situation. Academics. You know me, I push AP tests. When I first began working in the Unified School District, I had retired from San Francisco, where I was the AP coordinator for the school district. And I pushed our high schools, one of our high schools, Richmond High, to teach AP Spanish for the students. It is unconscionable that we have 62% or more of our students at Richmond High who speak a language other than English, which is Spanish, and we don't encourage them to take the advanced placement examination. And we pushed it. Now we finally got it going. Then I thought, do what we did in the city. Now offer advanced placement literature. And the kids are taking that class and also passing it. And they tell me, Antonio, or Don Antonio, or Profesor, they call me, you know, those short stories in Spanish from Latin America and Spain sound like the telenovela. I said, that's what it's all about. The conflict in families with the state or within the families. And they find it enjoyable. And that is increasing every year. I volunteer as a tutor, as a mentor for the advanced placement Spanish literature teacher at Richmond High. In fact, I loaned her all my books that I have on that particular subject. Vocational ed. I went to a dropout conference in Sacramento for 2 days last week, and what we heard over and over again is our dropout rate is growing. Why? Students get turned off. How can we work on that? 2, the students say, teacher doesn't like me, teacher X, Y, or Z. How can we work on that? We need to offer more courses for those students that for whatever reason are not going to get a BS or a BA. Offer those courses to keep them in the system. My son tells me also, Dad, I would love to be a teacher. They're now older adults, 40 and 39 and 38. I say, but Dad, do teachers get paid nothing? He said, but if you got paid good salaries the way I get paid now, I would become a teacher. So we've got to encourage that in our students. There's the computer field. There's the nursing department at Contra Costa College is packed. Students are on a waiting list. What can we do to encourage those students to follow those courses, what we call vocational ed? You know what union workers make, plumbers make, a lot more than a substitute makes, I bet you. So we need to push that. Recognize that there are students out in our field who, for whatever reason, will not finish up. Identify those middle school students who are having difficulties in math or in English. Identify them before they go to high school. have them come to summer school and hammer away, work on those English and math skills, and then follow them all the way along. We did an experiment once at Richmond High where the then principal called us together and said, come and take 10 names and go out and visit the homes. We did that, and it was very successful. We should renew that particular project. Gracias. Thank you.